Hello everybody, New Londonian here for my first original media post. Recently, a user by the name of Clawshrimpy posted a few quote-unquote documentaries about the state of the real robot anime genre today, with several points about previous robot anime works. This ranting was full of holes and fallacies, and I feel it's a duty as a die-hard fan of the genre to correct him. This will be a little long, so I'll label the individual points along the way to help you guys keep track. Topic number 1. Hand-drawn versus computer animation. This is a bit of a history lesson for everyone because there is actually a reason why anime companies have been moving from hand-drawn animation to computer animation, as nowadays computer animated series are dominant compared to hand-drawn. Now, hand-drawn animation not only required a lot from the animators in having to draw every frame individually, but it also had environmental implications. The various inks and chemicals which were used in the animation process left behind toxic byproducts which were often dumped into the environment rather than have a proper disposal process. Japan's equivalent to our EPA, known as the Ministry of the Environment, had not been founded until the 1970s. Following its formation, the MOE instituted laws which controlled the use of those chemicals and inks because there wasn't a proper disposal system that did not have environmental repercussions. Simply put, the move to computer animation came not only with the times as technology evolved, but also because it became a more costly and legal expenditure to do otherwise. Hence, nowadays, most series are done with computer animation. Now, CG animation is only a part of it as a whole and can be hit or miss depending on the skills of the artist. I don't think I've heard anyone diss the CG work from Gundam 00 or Macross Frontier for any credible reason. And Clawshrimpy's suggestion that the Valkyries of Macross Frontier were not meant to be done in CG means he's either enlightened up the wazoo or he's one of those unforgivably biased people. Unless someone proves otherwise, I'm inclined to think the latter. Topic number 2. Gundam Wing. Apparently, Clawshrimpy hasn't been around anime enough to know why this show is so popular. Prior to its North American broadcast, the anime industry here was but a mere fraction of what it is today. For the most part, whatever series did make it to this side of the Pacific Ocean were either edited, imported, or bootlegged. Now, when I mean edited, I mean that American firms would change stuff around with the plot, the characters, or other things to make it almost a completely separate series from the original. Probably one of the biggest examples of those is the series called REBUTTAL, where Harmony Gold took 3 separate series, Macross, Southern Cross, and Mosbayada, and combined them into a single large series. In some cases, the edits did pretty good, but for any series having suffered it, the genuine experience is lost. When Gundam Wing came out, there were no edits made to the characters, mechs, or the plot. Quite literally, it was the same series that was originally broadcast in Japan, save for the English voice actors. And in fact, the entire anime industry in North America owes thanks to Gundam Wing because it got a lot of people interested in anime over here. Topic number 3. G Gundam versus Gundam Wing. Let me point out this one fact that G Gundam is not a true Gundam series. The cornerstone of the entire Gundam franchise has been to show realistic mecha while getting away only slightly on the science fiction. G Gundam, essentially, is Gundam's one and only attempt to bridge the gap between real robot and super robot, and it did no justice for the franchise. Of course, G Gundam didn't do as good as Gundam Wing. Not only was it not the first of the Gundam series to be brought to North America, but it wasn't very outstanding. The story premise was childish, the mecha designs just made a mockery of Gundam as a whole. And let's face it, if it was a real robot show, the pilots wouldn't have to yell out each of their individual attacks when they did them, or have characters from playing cards coming out to blast the shit out of bad guys. The only things I could give credit to G Gundam for is coming out with one of the most badass characters of the Gundam franchise, Master Asia, and being the first series to bring about a German ninja. With that, we go on to our next topic, number 4, Gundam X. Now, I really have to give credit to this series for its story premise, which is basically what if the original Mole Suit Gundam took a very wrong turn and the colonies decide to bombard Earth with a mass colony drop in order to end the war. Although the show was cut short, it definitely had potential. I mean, who else but Garode could hijack a mobile suit with a grappler gun and a homemade flashbang? And the reason for its demise wasn't that it was bad plot-wise, character-wise, or action-wise. It was all timing. The series was put on an extremely late time slot in Japanese TV, somewhere around 3 or 4 in the morning. It never got put on an earlier time slot, and as such, audiences watching Gundam X were so minute that the show couldn't get good enough ratings. In a nutshell, not a lot of people watched it. Topic number 5. Gundam Seed. Now, I'm not going to be drawn into an argument about Seed. Overall, it sucked. I hate the recurring Jesus character in Kira Yamato and the angst in Shin Asuka. I especially hate the strike freedom Jesus ended up getting, which is not only stupid but wrong. But the sole blame of Seed and Seed Destiny's flaws can be directed at its director, Mitsuo Fukuda, and his wife, Chiaki Morisawa. Gundam Seed Stargazer would have been truly awesome if it had been longer for being a non-Fukuda/Morisawa Seed series. Personally, I like the redone Zakus, even if they aren't entirely original. And the Akatsuki was pretty cool for being an almost redone Hyakushiki. I also like the Strike Noir as well from Gundam Seed Stargazer.